There are moments when nothing is clearly wrong, yet the mind feels restless. You replay decisions, question what you said, and wonder if you missed something important. It is not always a big problem causing this feeling, but the absence of certainty itself. Doubt creates a kind of mental tension that does not easily resolve. Even small uncertainties can linger longer than actual problems. Over time, this constant questioning begins to feel like stress, even when nothing has gone wrong. What doubt really does to your thinking doubt is not just a feeling. It changes how your brain processes information. When you are unsure, your brain keeps searching for answers, trying to reduce uncertainty. This creates a loop where thoughts repeat without reaching a conclusion. Instead of moving forward, your thinking stays stuck in evaluation mode. The brain treats uncertainty like an unfinished task, which makes it hard to ignore. This is why doubtful thoughts often return again and again. Why the brain dislikes uncertainty. The brain is designed to predict and make sense of the world. When something is uncertain, that system does not work smoothly. Instead of clear outcomes, the brain sees multiple possible scenarios, many of them negative. This creates a sense of instability because the brain cannot settle on one expectation. Even if nothing bad happens, the lack of clarity feels uncomfortable. In response, the brain increases focus on the uncertainty, which increases mental strain. A simple conversation can turn into hours of overthinking. A minor mistake can feel like something much more serious. Doubt adds layers of interpretation that were not there before. Instead of seeing events as they are, the mind starts imagining what they could mean. This expansion creates unnecessary stress from situations that would otherwise pass quickly. The link between doubt and control. Part of why doubt feels stressful is because it removes a sense of control. It keeps you in a state where action feels risky and waiting feels uncomfortable. This creates a tension between wanting clarity and not having it. The longer this tension stays, the more exhausting it becomes. Why more thinking does not solve doubt? It might seem like thinking more will solve uncertainty, but it often does the opposite. The more you analyze, the more possibilities you create. Each new possibility adds another layer of doubt. Instead of reaching clarity, your thinking becomes more complex. This is why overthinking rarely leads to peace of mind. At some point, thinking stops being helpful and starts increasing stress. How doubt affects the body. Doubt is not only mental. It also shows up physically. You may notice restlessness, difficulty relaxing, or trouble focusing. The body responds to uncertainty as if something needs to be resolved quickly. This creates a low-level stress response that stays active longer than it should. Even without a clear threat, the body remains slightly tense. Over time, this can make everyday situations feel more draining than they actually are. When doubt becomes a habit, if doubt happens often, it can become a pattern. The brain starts expecting uncertainty even in situations that are usually simple. This makes it easier to question decisions and harder to trust your own judgment. What began as occasional uncertainty can turn into a constant mental state. When that happens, stress is no longer tied to specific events. It becomes part of how you experience daily life. Learning to move without full certainty. Reducing stress does not mean removing doubt completely. Some level of uncertainty is part of thinking carefully. The difference is learning when to stop searching for perfect clarity. Moving forward with partial understanding allows the mind to settle. It reduces the need to keep re-evaluating the same situation. Over time, this builds confidence in your ability to handle outcomes even if they are not fully predictable. Final thoughts. Doubt increases stress not because it always signals danger, but because it keeps the mind from resting. It creates unfinished loops that the brain keeps trying to close. The more those loops stay open, the more mental energy they use. Understanding this makes it easier to see why clarity feels calming and uncertainty feels heavy. When you learn to move forward without needing every answer, stress begins to lose its hold.